25-year-old Daisy Moriarty works as a content moderator for a large online platform. Her job is to remove offensive, illegal, or otherwise inappropriate video material. Unlike those who have been doing this for years, she still hasn't grown used to seeing shocking things day after day. It might seem like an easy job, you just sit at your desk, stare at a computer screen and scroll through social media around the clock. You review posts flagged by users, and if a post violates the platform's terms of use, it has to be removed. The more sensitive employees tend to break down quickly. But Daisy is still holding on. Even at home, the girl doesn't tear herself away from social networks. In her free time she browses profiles on a dating site. Unlike many platforms, those profiles aren't moderated at all. Ava Lopez, Daisy's friend and colleague, says this creates a potential danger for users. A regular workday begins, filled with both neutral and disturbing content. Some videos turn out to be especially disgusting. After her shift, Daisy goes to a bar where she agreed to meet Isaac, a guy from the dating site. But he's running late. Daisy waits, texting with Ava. Finally Isaac arrives. He wants to know whether Daisy's job affects her personally. The girl answers evasively, saying she'd rather not talk about it on a first date. It's not her dream job, but there are no other options for now. In the future she plans to become a nurse, to help people. After having a good time at the bar, they decide to continue the evening at Daisy's place. The next morning she goes back to work and gets reprimanded by her supervisor for deleting a video from a news site. To her, the clip seemed far too brutal. Joy Jones explains that they are not allowed to remove materials from official sources. They could even be sued for that. Joy Jones gathers everyone for a meeting to clarify a few points about their new user policy update. It's important to understand that they are not censors but moderators. What may look like forbidden content to one of them might not actually be so. Everything depends on the context and the message of the video. In the evening Mark Smith shows up at Daisy's door, asking if she can watch his daughter Violet tonight, since he's been called into work. Daisy doesn't really feel like it, but since she isn't busy and can't find a polite excuse to refuse, she has to agree. She is surprised to learn that the girl has been registered on Reddit since the age of 9, even though it's a site meant for adults. Daisy offers Violet a deal, no gadgets for the whole evening, but unlimited movies and popcorn instead. The girl likes that idea. Before bedtime, Daisy turns on a star projector in the room. Colored reflections of galaxies dance across the ceiling, and the girl quickly falls asleep. The next day Daisy tells Ava Lopez that although their job isn't the most pleasant, it's thanks to them that children are protected from harmful content. They are like an ambulance for the internet. As usual, while scrolling through the feed and filtering content, the girl stumbles upon an especially disturbing video showing abuse toward a woman. Overwhelmed by emotion, Daisy loses consciousness and ends up in the emergency room. The male nurse who sets up her mentions that his job is no easier. Everyday medical staff have to deal with the aftermath of accidents and other horrors. Soon Daisy is discharged. She feels ashamed about what happened, but Ava reassures her, saying that anyone could have reacted the same way. That's just the nature of their work. At night, Daisy is haunted by the image of that woman from the video. The girl receives a bill for $2,200 and, not understanding how that could be, calls customer service. Daisy is told she doesn't have employment insurance, only public coverage, so there's nothing they can do. The next day Bob is taking bets on who will break down next. The current favorite is Paul Huey, the newest employee. To cover her medical expenses, Daisy gives up the idea of taking a day off and comes in for her shift. During her break, she listens to a meditation podcast, but it doesn't really help. Gathering her courage, Daisy asks Joy Jones for permission to send the video to the police. The woman objects, saying it might be staged, or perhaps everything in it happens with consent. Daisy insists the video isn't staged, but Joy remains unmoved. Complaints have been filed against Bob by colleagues for his impulsive behavior and inappropriate jokes. He is sent to talk with the in-house psychologist, Jeffrey Moore. Bob admits he can no longer stand what he has to see on the screen day after day. Trying to detach herself from the endless stream of videos she scrolls through one after another, Daisy clicks the computer mouse with indifference, and so the whole day goes. After her shift she still decides to go to the police to report the crime. Daisy lies, saying the video simply popped up in her feed and she believed it showed a crime. But the officer doubts the clip is genuine. And even if it is, there is no criminal element. The police cannot arrest people just for their unhealthy inclinations. Daisy has no choice but to leave empty-handed. After work, Ava suggests they go to a bar together and get drunk. After all, they could use some relaxation. At first Daisy feels stiff, but the alcohol quickly does its work. She browses dating site profiles and messages one guy, suggesting they meet at her place. However, Daisy ends up disappointed by the encounter and sends him away in rather rude terms. She cannot sleep all night. The woman from the video will not leave her mind. Daisy feels it was not fake and searches the internet for information. There are huge numbers of users willing to pay for specific, sometimes disgusting content. In the end, Daisy makes a post on Reddit and uploads the video there. Maybe someone will recognize the man in it and respond? The next day, Paul nearly vomits from one of the clips. Daisy cheers him up, advising him to hang on until the break. During the break, they chat outside. Paul is a talented programmer and is writing an algorithm that will filter content without human involvement. Daisy says such an experiment has been tried, but it failed. This is one of the rare situations where a human is more reliable than a computer. No one has replied to Daisy on Reddit yet. She watches online self-defense tutorials. Suddenly she gets a message from Isaac, who thinks she's ignoring him. The girl replies that she was simply busy. Nobody can feel safe anywhere anymore, not even online, and Daisy understands that well. Finally, Reddit answers. A user sends Daisy a geolocation where the video was filmed. But it doesn't mean the man actually lives there. It's located 137 miles away. From now on, even at work, Daisy's thoughts are occupied by this. One day during a break, Daisy asks Bob if he can lend her a gun. The guy is baffled, wondering why she assumes he has a weapon. Daisy jokes that he looks like someone who keeps a gun at home. She lies, saying she just wanted to go to a shooting range to blow off steam. One way or another, she will have to do without a gun. Leaving a note with the address of where she's going, Daisy heads out. The first thing she does is check the mailbox. Apparently someone named Richard Kusser lives here. Daisy types the name into her browser's search bar. At that moment, a man walks out of the house and drives away. Daisy follows his car. Maybe this is Richard Kusser? The man goes to a movie theater for a horror screening, and Daisy goes there too. Later she approaches him in the parking lot and starts insulting him, then shows him the video, which makes Richard angry. He denies having anything to do with it. But Daisy insists that either he posted the video online, or someone from his house did. Richard calls her a sick freak and drives away. It turns out Richard truly has nothing to do with it. He was framed by his colleague, the same Reddit user. Moreover, other users have started attacking Daisy for posting the video. The next day at work, the girl strikes up a friendly conversation with Paul during the break, but she has an ulterior motive, since he's good with IT and could help her trace the person in the video. When Paul realizes what she's getting at, he refuses to help. Daisy insists she only wants to look into the eyes of the person who did those cruel things to that woman. But Paul remains unconvinced. She watches the video again and again, trying to mark any distinctive features. Even after repeated viewings, it still brings her to tears. Daisy won't rest until she finds the perpetrator, and that drives her to send a message to a site that hosts such videos. She pretends she wants to participate in one. Joy Jones is trying to think of a way to restore the team's morale. Most employees are depressed. Maybe it would help to organize some kind of group activity for relaxation. The employees gather in a bar. Everyone drinks, dances and tries to have fun without thinking about work. But it doesn't work. They are too deeply immersed in it and process everything they see day after day through themselves. Paul has been with the company for less time than the others, but even his psyche has already been affected. Soon everyone leaves, and only Daisy, quite drunk, stays behind. After closing time, she starts talking with the bartender, telling him about the video. He has seen it too. It's no surprise, clips like that tend to go viral. The bartender suggests they have a little fun. But Daisy, upset that he, like everyone else, doesn't care about the woman in the video, clearly isn't in the mood. She beats him with a metal pipe. The next morning, upon arriving at work, Daisy immediately tenses up when she sees police officers talking to Joy. Ava explains that during the night shift, one of the employees had a seizure from stress. Joy understands the seriousness of the situation, but as a supervisor, she's obliged to maintain the appearance that everything isn't as bad as it seems. In the evening, while watching Violet, Daisy receives a reply from the website inviting her to a filming session. She decides that it won't hurt if Violet stays alone for just an hour. Daisy arrives at the filming location. Gus DeLong, the director, explains that phones and any gadgets are forbidden. And Daisy will not be allowed to leave until she signs the papers. The door locks automatically. Trying to stay calm, Daisy catches the right moment and sprays pepper spray into his face. She smashes the cameras and wrecks the set, then escapes. Daisy hurries home as fast as she can, but Mark already knows she left his daughter alone, and his outrage knows no bounds. At last, after so much time, Daisy leaves a voicemail for Isaac, asking to meet. They get together at his place. He believes she will pass her medical test and fulfill her dream of becoming a nurse. But when they get a little closer, Daisy cannot relax, unable to stop thinking about the woman in the video. The date is hopelessly ruined. To cope with the stress somehow, Daisy takes some dubious pills. But it doesn't help. After watching yet another video, Paul can't take it anymore and leaves the office. At home, he hugs his dog in tears. There are so many clips online showing animal cruelty that Paul simply can't bear to watch them day after day anymore. He still fulfills Daisy's request and finds the name of the man from the video. Paul doesn't want to know what she plans to do with him, only wishing her luck. Even Daisy herself barely knows what she will do. While scrolling through the feed, Bob notices Daisy in one of the videos, the one where she was beating the bartender. Bob rushes to show it to her. She admits it wasn't self-defense. The video has many views, but apparently the man didn't file a police report. After some hesitation, she finally decides to talk to the in-house psychologist, Jeffrey. Daisy tells him that one video got stuck in her head and won't leave. Jeffrey explains that it's called a hero complex, a natural urge to pity the victim and punish the villain. But it's important to understand they are not heroes in a detective story, just ordinary people with ordinary jobs. Still, Daisy feels as if the universe itself is telling her she must do something about that man. Her fate seems intertwined with that woman's. All this drives Daisy to make a difficult decision, to quit her job. But by law she has to work 2 more weeks. Now Daisy devotes all her free time to preparing for the medical test. In addition, she's found a few side jobs. It helps her fill every spare minute, anything to avoid thinking about that woman. Daisy takes the exam. 2 weeks pass quickly. When Bob sees several people arriving for job interviews, he advises them to turn around and leave right away. Daisy comes in for an interview, but not by chance. Her potential employer is the man from the video.